This is Sanjeet. I know in our last tutorial we learned how to program AI and how to destroy them. Well, in this tutorial, before I show us how to beat level 1, how to code, like how to beat level 1 and how to go on to level 2 in our game, I want to teach us how to develop a pause button. So first thing you're going to do is you're going to create another UI, user interface. So go to UI and then Canvas and just rename Canvas first to pause. And then you're going to create another UI and then create a text UI. So first thing you want to do is be able to move that. So be able to like move your new text UI so it's a little centered. Make it a little bit more nicer and cleaner. Make it bigger. And then also erase that and change it to pause. You can pick whatever favorite color you like. I'm gonna pick green because I feel I've used red too much. Okay, save. So now first thing I'm gonna do is create a new C# script. So I'm gonna make this very clear. Make sure your C# script is not called pause because the name of the class should not be the name of the should not have whatever you call your class, you shouldn't name your void method exactly the same name as your class because then Unity gives that error when you compile your code. So just give your C# script another name. Let's put it that way. So I'm gonna call it pause game. All right. So before I open that, I'm gonna check off pause game because we right now don't want that to be on. We can just turn that off. So just check it off. Let's open up pause game. So first thing I want to do is add an import. So Unity standard assets dot characters dot first person. And you can just erase generics. Actually, nah, just keep it, doesn't matter. So first thing you want to do is create two public variables, and they should be public transform. So public transform canvas and public transform player. So you can just get rid of void start. You don't even need void start to be honest because you're only going to update the game when you hit pause. So first thing you want to do is we want to be able to check if one pause is enabled. So first we should do is have a conditional statement. So if parenthesis input dot get key down. So input dot get key down. Okay, and then another parentheses. So key code dot p Alright, so let's translate this to make it clear. So if input dot key down, so if if I press down the P key on my keyboard, it should do something. So what is something? It should be able to generate pause, but how are we going to generate pause? How are we going to simulate a pause button? Well, we also need to create a method inside the if statement. So this is where we're going to create a pause method. not pause game, just pause. So pause. So this method is where when we press P, everything takes place. Where everything takes place to an output. Alright, so now I'm just going to create a public method. So I'm going to say public void pause. So I'm going to create a public void pause, and now I'm going to pass another conditional statement. So I'm going to say if canvas dot game object dot set active so if canvas dot game object dot set not set active, ignore that. If canvas dot game object dot active in hierarchy, so active in hierarchy equals false, so we want to be able to, so let's translate this. So once I hit the P button, so if I hit the P button, so if I hit the P button and let me just find a better way to explain. If I hit P and world is false, so false as in false slash off, then set pause to visible. So other ways, I'm going to add another comment. So false is off, true is on. So if you, I don't know if some of you are computer science majors or took a computer science course and you learn binaries where you have zeros and ones, you can say false is off. So false is 0 and true is 1. So that's how you can say 0 means off and 1 means on. So now let's make this easier. If canvas.gameObject.active in hierarchy is false, if it's false, then set the canvas.gameObject.setActive. So set that equal to true. Our canvas as an equal to true is set our pause button equal to true. So how are we going to set that equal to true? So we also want to be able to turn off the time scales in our game. So we're going to say time.timescale, and that equals to 0. So now, if everything is, so if our pause button is on, then everything should be turned off. So what we want, how we're going to turn everything off is, we're gonna use player. We're gonna call our player data field over there. So we're gonna call our player variable, and we're gonna use get component. And the component we want to get are all our C# scripts, because our game world is run by all our C# scripts. So what I'm going to say is player.getComponent, and then inside the component enter all the names of my C# scripts over here, and just enable them to be off. Because if pause is on and that's true, everything else will be off. That simple. So controller so that's enabled to equal off. One sec. It's gonna write it better organized. Okay, now that makes more sense, a little bit more sense. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna copy and paste all the components and then turn off all the scripts I want to turn off. So mouse looker is one of them. Other ones I want target mover and target exit off. Yeah, I definitely want target behavior to be off. Target looker. Want that to be enabled off. Oh, sorry, not looker. Target exit to be off. I want our target mover to be off. I also want our shooter to be off. And I also want our spawn game objects to be off. Alright, so I want all these to be off. Else, generate a simple else statement. So else, you're just going to do the same thing, but just change everything that is false to true. So basically, else, if canvas dot game object. So let's translate this to be easier. So if it's on, if I press P, then pause should be on, and then everything else should be off. But if I don't press P, then pause should be it should just remain off. It just does nothing. So if I don't press P, then pause is off, and everything else. So yeah, so basically if I was to press the P button, then it would enable on. If I press it again, it's back to normal. Alright, so I'm gonna compile my C# script real quick. Okay, it compiled successfully, so alright, so now the final thing I'm going to do is create another new game object. So I'm just going to create an empty game object, and I'm going to reset the positioning, and I'm just going to drag my pause game script. So I'm just going to drag this. So first thing, and then I'm just going to drag my transform variable. So I'm going to drag my pause rect, and I'm also going to drag my player. So I'm going to save, and then I'm just going to play my game. I'm just waiting for it to load. So see, our pause button works successfully. I can't rotate or anything. Oh, yeah, there's a minor glitch with the bullet. Every game can actually work the way we expected, but this is the best pause button we have for now, but I'm going to figure out a way how to make that better. But yeah, I mean, now if you actually play your game, and if you test play your game, if you test play your game again and just move around, you see everything is off. It's set to pause. So now if I press P again, it's back on. So now one more thing I'm going to show you before I end this tutorial is the game manager. You can actually now test your game manager. Actually, you were able to do that before as well, but I didn't want to get too much into that detail. But now we're almost going to be done finishing level 1 of the game. So one thing you want to do to check if you can actually win the first level of the game is check can beat game manager. So in this script right now, can beat game manager is it's false. It's not on. But since I checked it on, it's now on. So your score right now starts at 0, and then go to beat score level. So the score level I want to beat is 2. So I have to get up to 2 points in 30 seconds, which is my start time. So what I'm gonna do just to test play is, so I have 30 seconds. Let me shoot my first guy. And then see, our game, we finished the first level of our game. So now in the next tutorial I'm gonna show you how to do is, next tutorial we're gonna learn how to rotate all these next level UIs you're seeing. And basically what you're gonna do is, when you shoot a next level, you should be able to go to the next level of the game. So that's what we're actually gonna learn for the next tutorials. And you can also see pause also still works. Everything's kind of just like on a normal game, only with a minor glitch. We'll actually learn how to fix that later on. But thank you for watching. Please subscribe and please leave any comments. Thank you.